Imagine yourself sitting at a loud, overpriced bar on a Friday night, leaning across a sticky table to tell your friends about a grand new plan to change your life. You might be broadcasting your ambition because your unevolved primate brain is biologically addicted to the immediate, cheap high of social validation. While most people believe they are mapping out a successful future, they are often just executing a neurological glitch where the brain confuses the applause for an actual achievement. This is the era of the fake rich, where the disconnect between what people actually have and what they are willing to spend to look successful has never been wider. Real wealth is about what you build in silence, while pretending to be rich is a performance that actively destroys your ability to acquire the freedom you seek. The first sign that someone is trapped in this cycle is their obsession with entry-level luxury items that serve as a badge without the budget. These individuals will often stretch their finances to buy the cheapest version of a high-end brand, like a base-model German car with no upgrades, or a designer belt with a giant logo. Manufacturers specifically design these bare-bones models because they know people value the emblem on the hood more than the actual driving experience. Paradoxically, a fully loaded practical car often offers better features and reliability for a similar price, but the fake rich reject it because it lacks the perceived status. This choice becomes a long-term drain on net worth because luxury vehicles come with higher ongoing costs for insurance, premium fuel, and specialized maintenance. While a person with actual wealth might spend only 2 to 5% of their income on such items, those who are pretending often burn through 20 to 30% just to look the part. A second telltale sign is constant, unprompted money talk, where every topic somehow circles back to finances. People who are truly secure with their wealth do not feel the need to remind everyone how well their portfolio is doing or how much they spent on a recent purchase. The fake rich, however, are constantly seeking external validation to fill an internal void, often steering conversations towards money even when the original topic was as mundane as pizza toppings. They frequently operate in the future tense, discussing massive deals that are about to close or investments that are going to be huge, because their present reality does not match the image they want to project. You will also notice they frequently confuse revenue with actual profit, bragging about a business that did $500,000 in sales while neglecting to mention they only netted $50,000 after expenses. Truly wealthy people tend to be private because they have nothing to prove to strangers, whereas those pretending need you to believe the illusion for it to feel real to them. Thirdly, you will often find a catastrophic imbalance between the cost of their possessions and the balance in their bank account. It is a scary reality to see someone carrying a $5,000 designer handbag while having only $2,000 in their savings account. This behavior signals that the purchase was not a celebration of success, but a costume for a success that hasn't actually arrived yet. If a single purchase represents 2 or 3 months of your income, you are not wealthy. You are living dangerously above your means. The stress of an empty savings account lasts for years, whereas the status hit of a luxury item only lasts for seconds. Many in this position even finance these purchases, paying high interest on a depreciating asset and ending up paying 30% more than the sticker price by the time the debt is cleared. A fourth sign involves the behavior of the constant one-upper, who treats every social interaction as a competition that must be won. If you share news of a promotion, they immediately mention a bigger one they received. If you mention a nice vacation, they tell you about their business class flight to a more exotic location. This behavior stems from deep-seated insecurity because they feel threatened by any success that is not their own. Real wealth allows a person to be genuinely happy for others, but the fake rich feel that your good news somehow diminishes them, so they reflexively minimize your achievements while amplifying their own. Fifth, their social media presence is entirely curated to project a lifestyle of luxury that may not exist. In the digital world, showing off gets more engagement than showing discipline, which creates a perverse incentive to perform prosperity while building nothing. While no one films themselves doing the dishes or working on a budget spreadsheet, the fake rich need you to believe that their highlights are their everyday existence. They may even go as far as buying fake followers and bot engagement to signal a social status they haven't earned, stacking layers of fabrication to support an appearance of influence. Actual wealthy people often maintain a minimal social media presence because they do not need the validation of strangers. Sixth is the cycle of luxury leasing, which has become a normalized red flag for financial instability. When you lease a luxury car, you are essentially financing the steepest part of the car's depreciation curve, its first few years, and then giving it back with zero equity. This allows people to afford a monthly payment on a vehicle they could never actually purchase, locking them into perpetual payments with nothing to show at the end. Someone who leases continuously for 20 years may have paid hundreds of thousands of dollars and still own absolutely nothing, whereas truly wealthy individuals often buy reliable used cars in cash to avoid interest and depreciation. A seventh sign is the use of counterfeit goods, which is a literal advertisement that someone is pretending. People who actually understand luxury can spot a knockoff from across the room by looking at the stitching, the leather quality, or the logo placement. The irony is that a decent counterfeit bag might cost $200, which is enough to buy a genuinely well-made original bag from a mid-tier brand that isn't trying to be something else. By choosing the fake, the individual reveals that they care more about the perception of the logo than the actual quality or craftsmanship of the item. An eighth indicator is constantly chasing get-rich-slightly-fast schemes rather than focusing on long-term growth. These individuals are often vocal about the latest crypto trend, forex trading, or multi-level marketing system because they are looking for a miracle to escape their lack of financial foundation. They operate in the future tense, discussing massive deals that are about to close or investments that are going to be huge because their present reality does not match the image they want to project. Ninth is the habit of giving condescending financial advice that actively criticizes your smart, disciplined choices. This person might tell you that you should have upgraded your apartment or car by now, even if your current situation is helping you save and invest. They need to justify their own overspending, and if you are succeeding with a different approach, it threatens their narrative. They criticize your path to validate theirs, unable to acknowledge that your strategy might be actually superior because that would mean admitting their own approach was backward. The 10th is simply overdoing the rich person cosplay by wearing too many logos and too much jewelry. They have taken their cues from movies and decided to act out a character of what they think success looks like. However, real wealth whispers, and when every item someone owns is designed to broadcast a brand name, it typically demonstrates insecurity rather than financial power. The wealthiest people, like Warren Buffett or Mark Zuckerberg, often dress modestly and drive practical cars because their identity is not tied to the opinions of strangers. Your ego is a literal mathematical tax on your future net worth because it forces you to prioritize appearances over assets. When you spend money to look rich, you are experiencing lifestyle creep, where higher income leads to higher spending, turning luxuries into perceived needs. This prevents you from building a fortress of leverage in the dark, which is the only way to achieve true sovereignty. The dopamine hijack of premature celebration ensures that once you receive the social applause for a goal, your brain shuts off the drive to do the actual work required to achieve it. Furthermore, the envy algorithm of your peer group creates a subconscious pressure for you to keep spending to validate their own poor choices. If you succeed, it proves their struggle is a choice, so they will mock your frugality or pressure you into expensive outings to drag you back down into the mud. To escape this, you must understand the real secret of building wealth, the difference between assets and liabilities. An asset is something that puts money into your pocket, like dividend stocks or rental properties, while a liability is something that takes money out, like your car or even your primary home. To reach financial freedom, you must adopt a 50-30-20 budget, spending 50% on needs, 30% on wants, and 20% on savings, and practice silent execution. You must murder your performative ego and learn the art of moving in the dark, allowing the ruthless, silent mathematics of time to build your empire while the rest of the world burns itself out trying to be seen. The goal is not to look rich, it is to possess the mathematical leverage to wake up on a quiet Tuesday morning and realize you owe no one anything. This is the only freedom that matters, and it is forged in the silence that the fake rich can never afford.